the alcohol, la 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 la. Just line 'em up and we will drink them all, la 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 la. But my mother always said, if you want to drink all day, you best start in the morning, son, 'cause that's the Irish way. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every other mother will agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, and every mother must agree. We don't get drunk, we get awesome, so order up around for you and me, and you and me, and you and me. Let there be whiskey.
Hey, Russ. You're not looking.
Hey, sorry, I missed my cue. Everybody, welcome once again to Nerds with Alcohol. I'm Russ.
And I'm Chris.
And it is episode 241. Welcome back to the virtual nerd basements, everybody. I was checking on something on my phone, which is so appropriate for me.
Which is it's amazing that you were doing that when you knew that we were starting, and
I know,
that you were even singing along with the.
I was. I'm bad. I'm bad podcaster. I've got a thingy coming up. I got a gig coming up this weekend, which I will talk about a little bit. And I was we're looking at a text from it, so about it. So it is it is 241, guys. We're back in the virtual basement. Welcome again. It was a scorching hot day today.
Oh my God, it was. I'm glad. Today was a day that I was really glad that I was not working outside, because holy shit.
I work outside no matter what.
Well, that's the thing. I feel bad for
ceiling.
I feel bad for people like you and Renee who are in non-climate controlled areas, and also like the people that are out doing landscaping and all that stuff in this type of weather, bricklayers, whatever. Anybody that has to work outside doing construction, anything. And hats off to you, because I couldn't do it.
It was hard. It's been hard the last couple of days, and it's supposed to get be hot, the same hot all week. And
yep. Well, it's supposed to cool off a little. I mean, we're going to get down to the mid 80s over the next couple of days. Tomorrow's supposed to be nice and rainy, so
rainy, which means it's going to fuck up my day as well. But no, I heard that it's still supposed to be, pretty shitty. So I don't know. It's just says 91 today, 90 tomorrow, 87 on Thursday, 85 on Friday, 89 on Saturday, 90 on Sunday.
Yeah. So
we don't have really any kind of, and then it says 83 on Monday, so we don't have any real kind of break until like next week.
Well, I mean, the unofficial start of fall is next weekend, not this weekend coming up, but the following weekend,
right.
Labor Day weekend,
which it's I'm kind of looking forward to. I like the summer. Don't get me wrong. The heat doesn't get to me all that bad. I'm not.
Well, you spent a chunk of your childhood in Arizona, so
a small chunk of my teenage years, 3 years. But no, I mean, I've never been. The heat doesn't bother me all that much. But when I'm working in it, and it's like, and I can't get away from it, and whatnot, it can be a lot.
That's the thing. As I've gotten older, it's the heat does get to me now, but it's more the humidity. Actually, I understand why people move to places like Arizona when they want warmth, but not the humidity, because the humidity for me is what really kills me. It's right. That's what really does me in. So.
Me too. It is definitely the heat or the humidity is what can be a massive problem for me. But
it makes it hard for me to breathe.
Mm-hmm. But that's the other thing too. Years of working at Ren Fair and the heat and everything. It's one of those things that you kind of get used to after a while. But it still can be unpleasant. So, but yeah, it was a long, hot day at work today. I was able to get things accomplished, but I was up and down a ladder like 30 times, and up one side of a sculpture to paint, and then down, and then go up another ladder to get to the middle, and then down another ladder to get. I was basically painting the head of a character that was 12 feet in the air. So I couldn't, and then there's now, because of all the OSHA things, I have to be real careful as to how I do things and whatnot. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And Stella had a wisdom tooth pulled today, and they gave her, I shit you not, Motrin. I had Vicodin when I had mine pulled.
I think I had Motrin.
I was like, man, that's crazy. She only had one too. Thank God. I mean, what if could you imagine if she had like 2 or all 4 pulled? Good Lord.
Well, mine actually came in straight. So they didn't I actually had mine for a while before they're like, you know what, let's get rid of those because they're not doing you any good. And they're probably eventually going to be a problem because even when people brush, they don't tend to get back there because.
Get all the way back. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I had to have the one. I think I've had 2 pulled, but I can't remember. I have one that's crested and it's just back there, whatever. And then I had one that had a huge cavity on it. So they were just kind of like, you know what, let's just pop it out. The problem was the root was curved like this, so like if my hand is the tooth, the root was like this. It was like, and so they really had to dig to get it out. My dentist was like, I've been a dentist for 30 years and I've never seen a root quite like that. So like, great, thanks. And so I kept telling her, I was like, go and get your pain meds as soon as you get done. Go get them as soon as you get done.
Before you're unnumbed.
Right, exactly. Because that happened to me. I went, I was like, it was a Wednesday. I was like, I want to go get my comics. And and I'm all numb and shit. By the time we got to the comic shop, my ex-wife, she was like, I was like, we need to stop now and get my pain meds. I was like, I was in a kind of pain that is relegated to war criminals. I mean, it was like horrible. So yeah, we pulled into a CVS and it's like, Vicodin now. And they thankfully they gave me my Vikes, and I took one. Kirsten ran into the comic shop to get my comics for me, and then took my ass to home where I could pass out for 3 days because it was horrible. Because it wasn't anything I was prepared for either. It was like I was there for like a cleaning and whatnot. My dentist just went, you know what? Let's just pop that out of there. Like, and I was I was gassed up.
Yeah.
He always gassed me up because because I've never cared for cleaning and for the teeth cleaning sensation. So he would gas me up to relax me a little bit. And so he was like, why don't we just take that wisdom tooth that's got a cavity back there? And I'm like,
cool.
All right, whatever.
Yeah, that when I was in Louisville, the dentist office I went to actually offered the nitrous as just for free. And while I'm not one where I would say I am afraid of the dentist or anything,
I'm not afraid of it.
But it is an unpleasant experience. Let's face it.
Yeah,
and it's one of those things that a lot of times when I was younger, I would put off. Now I don't, but when I was younger, I would put it off and stuff. And but when I went down there, I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. Let's see if that takes some of the anxiety out of it. And it did. And I mean, they put that little clown nose on my nose and turn it up, and they're like, all right, take a couple of deep breaths, and they could do whatever they could do whatever, I was fine. Like, all right. I'm like, I wasn't out of it. I never got loopy. When I was a kid and they gave me nitrous, I remember like having to go to the bathroom in the middle of a procedure at one point, and I'm like, and them walking me to the bathroom and me like feeling like I was just floating on clouds. It was the first time I remember ever being truly stoned.
That's funny.
And I was probably like 9.
Is this real life?
But yeah, so I get that. But I hope she recovers quickly and that she doesn't have a lot of pain.
Yeah, I mean, she's and she says she's not in a lot of pain, but she's just got a lot of discomfort. So, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's kind of it needed to happen. So they also did a few fillings and stuff, and but she's doing all right. She could be worse. So, let's see. How was your week?
I mean, it was all right. Golfed, worked. What did I do over the weekend? This weekend, I don't even remember what I did over the weekend. Man, it's been that kind of a week. But I golfed on Thursday. Didn't golf well. It was a hot as hell day and just not overly comfortable. Went and saw the Chelsea game on Sunday, and that was a lot of fun. Chelsea kicked the shit out of out of Arsenal, so that was cool. That's what it was. We went to a family party on Saturday, which was a good time. Although it was kind of segregated the way that everyone sat. Like there was like my wife's family and her immediate family. We were all sitting in one spot, and then another group was sitting in a different spot, and another group was sitting in a different spot. It wasn't the mingling, so
Okay. Well, that's I mean, it sounds like you at least had some fun.
yeah. I mean, it was a hot day, but we had some shade and there was a breeze, so it wasn't too bad.
Okay.
And then we Friday night we did an impromptu game night.
Right. I was unable to attend.
Yep, and but we played some Red Dragon Inn, tested out the setup in the basement, which, while it's not going to be perfect, we won't have these cool little outlines and things like that we do now, and we won't necessarily have character names underneath everybody to start off with. That's things I hope to do at some point in the future, but not at the moment. We basically were testing everything for our Tavern Nights show this coming Friday.
Right.
And I'm pretty happy with the way things look right now. So
good. That's good to hear. So my week basically was very topsy-turvy. As of last week's show, on Wednesday, I found out that I would not be working at the Renaissance Festival. Basically, as I kind of expressed to our listeners, that the festival decided not to renew my contract, but they also made it clear that I was not allowed to participate in any sort of performance. So as I was going to be a part of the
but they haven't told you that.
Ensemble. Correct, they haven't told me yet.
Which is just fucking childish bullshit.
Exactly. My friend Linda, who is the head of Siren Tales Mermaid Troupe, she was informed by the entertainment director, and she did say to the entertainment director that she needed to express these things to me. And I did try to call her twice, and I did not get a response yet. So I will be attending at some point. Probably will bring Dresden, but I did not go opening weekend. And for the first time in almost 30 years, I was at home on opening day. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of emotions, a lot of mixed emotions here. I love the festival, and I always will love the festival. I am very upset with how management has treated me and has been treating me.
It's bullshit, dude. I mean, the fact that they can't even man up and give you a fucking phone call. That's just
I do appreciate that, Chris. I do, because it's been hard. I mean, this place was my home for a very long time, and it's hard. I have a lot of friends there, and and family, really, and people that I adore, and this really hurts. This hurts to be treated like this, and for years and years of faithful service to the festival.
Right, and that's the thing. So the chicken shitted nature of it, that they can't even. I mean, it's obvious that they have guilt because they can't face you. I mean, if it was purely a business decision, then they shouldn't have any problems saying, hey, this was just a business decision, blah, 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 and giving you a call and letting you know. But the fact that everything has been behind your back, and that, hell, did they ever even tell you that they weren't renewing your contract, or just?
No, I found out through the rumor mill, and then the fact that I did not receive a contract. And then, of course, telling Linda that I was not allowed to. And there was a moment that I felt, there was like somebody had said, or one of my friends had heard rumor maybe that had thought maybe that I wasn't even allowed there at all. And I don't, and at first I was kind of like, oh my God, if that's the case, then okay, I'm going to war. But I believe it was more like I was there on the Saturday before we opened, helping Linda drop stuff off and prepare for the opening. And probably somebody had said, well, Russ was there, he's not supposed to be there, which means I'm a patron and I'm probably not supposed to be at the festival on off hours, which also is kind of bullshit, because there are a lot of patrons that show up and on the before the festival starts and like help out.
I'm sure that there's a lot of booths that have patrons that are friends that come out and help them get their booth set up and fixed or whatever.
Oh, like the Guinness pub itself was decorated by patrons. I mean, it was painted, and I saw a couple of patrons out there when I was there, working on it. And Benny, who is the Dutchman, he's a patron, and a lot of people think he works there, but he actually doesn't. He is just a very, very dedicated, what we call a patron at the festival. So yeah, I spent a good portion of the weekend like thinking about things, and just kind of ruminating on the entire situation that I'm experiencing. But yeah, like I said, I'm probably fourth weekend I'll go up. I am almost immediately got a gig at the Canterbury Village again. They're doing a Made in Michigan stroll, and they were looking for a few actors that could be, like kind of at children's entertainment. So a couple of my friend Lisa Marie is performing, and a couple other people are performing that I know. So and they're kind of fantasy characters. She's doing a fairy godmother.
Did you get any cooling for your outfit yet? Because it's going to be hot as fuck this weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna probably be sweaty. That's for sure.
Is your makeup waterproof?
It is quite. So I'm gonna be getting up early, doing my makeup here at home before I head out.
Don't get pulled over, man.
The thing is,
can I help you, officer?
The thing is, though, it's Ren Fair season, and I'm going towards the Renaissance Festival, so it'll be it'll be one of those like, wow, this guy, if I were to get pulled over. So yeah, so it's weird. It's been weird. Like I said, I've been doing this the majority of I've been doing it longer than I've been doing anything else in my life. I've been doing this Ren Fair since I was 19. So to be doing, to be in this situation, just kind of unfairness, and it's just, it's hard.
Yep.
And I am thankfully I've had a lot of support from my friends, like I said, Linda, and I think it's starting to rain. Linda and yep, there's some lightning.
Oh.
Linda and the other mermaids, and of course Stella, and a bunch of my other friends have been very supportive so far. I haven't really said a whole lot, but it's just because I once again I haven't heard anything specific and whatnot from management. I haven't heard anything official. So, and the fact that they have yet to address me about it is just, it's really telling, honestly, about how well that place is managed.
So. Well is a I don't know that well is the right term.
No, exactly. Well, this is indicative of how well it's managed. It's
Yeah.
So,
What's that?
so yeah.
Sorry, I just saw a bug on the wall over here, and I don't know what it was. I just saw it kind of like flapping against the wall. I don't know if it was a spider falling down or if it was a fly, but I don't see it now.
Well, I would imagine that it'll be fine.
Oh yeah, if it's a spider, it's down here on the floor, and you see me jump, it's because it just ran across my foot and surprised me. But
yeah, that would be gross. So I did, but Saturday I did go and see Black Widow, and I was able to get to see that, and that was great.
I'm hoping to go see that maybe Thursday, because I'm not golfing Thursday this week.
No.
So that was one of the other things. Tom and I, my buddy that I golf with, we actually decided pretty much that we're done with the golf course that we're playing at. It was nice. It was cheap. It's not worth it to drive out there and play in 90-degree weather.
No.
I mean, if it was a nicer course, I would do it, but it's really not that great of a course. And so we're like, you know what? We got like 4 or 5 weeks left. We've gotten our money's worth out of it. We're done.
Right.
So,
well, good.
We're probably still going to try and golf on Thursdays, but we're going to golf over this way at a nicer course and do like Twilight or something like that.
Well, go and see. You definitely should go and see. I'm going to do a little spoiler-free review. Although the movie has been out for a while, I know you haven't seen it yet, and you do not like spoilers. So, but we should. You should definitely go and see it before it leaves the theaters, because it's really, really good.
Yeah, I would say I'd go see it tomorrow.
Check.
I'd say I'd go see it tomorrow, but Alexander's coming over tomorrow to watch Titans. So
just make sure that it is still in the theater. You know, because
well, I just looked today, and as of right now, it is. It's only 2 showings at any of the theaters. What surprises me actually is the AMC 30 actually doesn't have it showing at all.
Wow, that is something, considering like there's 30 theaters. Are there 30 movies out there?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
and that's the thing. They're not showing it at all. But John R. has it showing twice a day, and Grashit over here by me has it showing twice a day.
I saw it at the John R. at had it on one of their smaller theaters. And
yeah,
it was great. It's great, really great. I'll talk about it in a few minutes. So what are you drinking, man?
Well, I'm drinking something. I don't know. I think I might have already done this one. I'm pretty sure I did. But I wanted something I could just sip on because I'm really full. Renee and I ran and grabbed some food just before we got on, and I kind of overate, so I'm really full. So what I may do is talk about the beer that I had at dinner. But this is the Founders Bottle Shop Nemesis, which I think I may have done before. It's What's Your Nemesis? Ours is a barley wine style ale brewed with roasted malts and no shortage of hops for a pleasantly bitter, booming flavor, pouring with a slight and subtle mahogany hue and a multitude of flavors that melt on your tongue. This is one Nemesis you'll feel good about keeping around. And when I say a slight mahogany, I mean it's dark as sin. I mean it is dark. It has a very barley wine-esque aroma, which is basically an alcohol aroma. This is not on that side. Where is it? I know it's on here. There it is. 11.2%.
Jesus Christ! I know wines that aren't that high.
Yeah. So this is a barley wine. So it actually is a wine made from barley. They actually they put enough of barley in there, and they get enough sugars out of it that they ferment it, and it gets up that high. It has a full mouthfeel. It's a meal. It's a small meal. That's why you kind of sip on it. And it's one of those that the flavor will change. Like it was cold. It was ice cold when I poured it. It's warmed up a little bit now, and it'll warm up as I take my time drinking it. It's one of those that honestly, it's really good at just below room temperature. So like in a cellar temperature. So like in the 50s. Mm-hmm. It's really good there. A lot of the flavors really come out. I'm gonna take another quick sip here. But it's very boozy. when you take that sip.
I would imagine as much.
It's almost like a. It doesn't really have the rum taste, but it's like a chocolate rum cake type of thing, where there's a ton of chocolate flavor. I mean, this thing, it's almost like drinking alcoholic milk chocolate. It is, or dark chocolate, really, because it's a little bit bitter. But it's yeah, that's probably what I'd say. It's like an alcoholic dark chocolate.
Okay.
It's I like it a lot. It was a special edition. I don't think it's even out anymore. I've had this one for a couple of months. Yeah, this came out in March, and I think that's when I got it. So, but yeah, if you do happen to be able to find it, it may be available in the secondary market. This is one that I think I'm going to take at least one bottle and age it for at least a year, and try it again, because I have a feeling this is going to age really well. So, but yeah, it's Bottle Shop Series Nemesis by Founders.
By Founders, yep. Okay.
What about you?
Well, I am drinking another Naughty by Nature cider. This
Not the
is,
band, the cidery.
Not the band, the cidery. This is Forbidden Fruit hard cider. This is their handcrafted watermelon cider. It's in one of these taller cans. This is a 5.5. It's fucking sweet, man. This is like, holy shit, sweet. I like it, but it's got, I mean, I kind of wonder if the ingredients are like, let me see, good morning. Apple juice, watermelon flavor. Okay, sucrose. So, you know how you got, flavors. You got the flavor of something isn't always exactly what the actual fruit really tastes like. I mean, watermelon candy kind of tastes like watermelon, but not quite.
It's usually a lot more tart.
Yeah, strawberry candy kind of tastes like strawberry, but not quite.
Sweeter.
It's sweeter, exactly, and that's kind of what this is. This tastes like somebody took some apple cider, with almost no flavor, and dumped a bunch of watermelon flavor into it, and
like dumped a bunch of Jolly Ranchers in there, watermelon Jolly Ranchers in there, and
you know what? That's an excellent. That's an excellent review. It's it does. It tastes like kind of like watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Which were one of my favorites growing up.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't dislike that flavor. I've always loved watermelon flavored things, and watermelon candy and whatever else. This was surprising. Like when I cracked it, I could smell it. I was whoa, and but I'm not. Listen, I'm not disliking this. I mean, I would probably buy this again. It's just a little over the top, little sweet. So guys, if you want to try this, Naughty by Nature, they've got a pretty good. They've got a pretty good meadery. They make some really solid product. I've had a few things by them recently. And I've been, it's a decent cidery. It is made in Michigan, so that's another nice thing about it. It's St. Julian. It's St. Julian makes these. But wow, but this is definitely a sweet one. So check it out if you want to check it out. Please do. And
so Naughty by Nature.
Be prepared.
Naughty by Nature must be their line of whatever that is, of the ciders that they're doing.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
With Forbidden Fruit, Naughty by Nature, it's got a big old snake kind of worked into the apple design, so
cool. Solid.
It's sweet, but just be prepared. If you're gonna drink it, definitely a sweet one. So let me move on. What do you want to start with tonight?
Well, we are at 46 followers now.
Oh, that's great.
So we are getting close. We need, I'd say 5 more just to be safe, but 5 more followers to hit our goal of 50, 51, to get the next status, the affiliate status with Twitch, where our stuff will stay on longer. We can actually do some more stuff in chat, things like that. So that'd be cool. So, tell your friends. If you're not following, if you're watching this on VOD or even like live and you're not following us, please follow us.
Yeah, exactly. was kind of cool. I was watching one of my, after we got off of Tavern Talk last night, I was watching, I kind of clicked on my friend Kevin's Twitch stream for a little bit. And as some other person he knows, like raided his stream and brought all of his viewers, like 120 or 130 viewers, over to his stream. And it was really cool. It was like, holy shit, you know, all of a sudden just like stream bombed or raided or whatever. And it was pretty cool. And you got a bunch of new followers, you got a few new subscribers out of that. I was like, holy shit, that's really great. That's what we need. We need somebody to jump in and dump all of their viewers into our.
Well, and we've had some people do like where they've actually shown the hosted us and stuff, but we haven't had a raid, which that brings me to another thing that I was reading about today that's been going around, I guess, on Twitch, and it's been causing a lot of problems. And it's these things called hate raids, where people are coming on and they're raiding somebody's show, and it's just a constant stream of profanities and insults and things like that in the chat.
That's such fucking bullshit.
It is. It's fucking troll bullshit. But that's what the internet is. It's for the most part, the internet is a bunch of fucking trolls.
It is.
There are some cool people. There are a whole bunch of cool people out there, but there's a small subset that is very vocal, and they love the anonymity that the internet gives them, and they think that it means that they can just be assholes.
Yep, and I fucking hate it. I'm just not that person, man. I don't go on the internet to entertain myself by insulting somebody's art or
if I don't like something,
fun of their clothes or their makeup or their pictures.
If I watch a stream or a video or something like that, and I don't find it entertaining or I don't like it, I don't watch it anymore. That's it. I go away. I don't go, you fucking suck. And you know, and wait for them to reply and then keep insulting them.
Right. Exactly.
I'm like, that's just a dick move. Okay, so you know, not everything's for everyone. Our show's not for everyone.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, you know, the people that don't like it, that's their loss. But you know, it's not. Nothing is for everyone.
Oh, of course. Yeah. I mean, that's an excellent. That sums up honestly everything. Nothing is for everyone.
That's right, and that's one of the ways I've always approached religion too. There's no one path that's right for everyone. Religion is supposed to make you feel good. If it doesn't make you feel good, it's not the religion for you. Because almost all the paths lead to pretty much the same point.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to do what makes you feel good, as long as it's not hurting anybody else.
Exactly. As long as
you want to follow the you know, spaghetti monster, go for it.
Yeah. Was it do no harm?
Yeah, do no harm.
You know? So
do what thou wilt.
Exactly. Do what thou wilt. So
but anyway, that was just my little rant about something I saw today about the hate raids. And
yeah, that's some bullshit. I mean, I just don't understand people that feel like they have to do that kind of crap.
Yep,
it's just so ridiculous.
And they're saying it makes it really easy because people, even if they get banned for doing something like that, they can just create another account super easy. So
well, yeah, and that's one of the trials of and the problems with the internet is because it is so anonymous. You know, people can do that kind of stuff. You know, they can, if they get banned, they can just make another account. If they get banned again, they make another account.
Yep.
And then you got people that are not doing anything wrong or bad, and they get their Instagram account removed or deleted or whatever because of some bullshit algorithm.
Yep.
You know, I can't tell you how many like models or, you know, straight up like sex workers and whatnot that, you know, porn stars, models, whatever, strippers that have had their Instagrams done away with because of some random algorithm kind of situation. My friend Jessica has posted pictures that would be completely fine almost anywhere else, or it would be completely fine last week, but then she puts it up on Instagram and it gets flagged for nothing, for bullshit. And then she's got to defend this picture that is not violating any of the Instagram or, you know, things.
Lots of thunder outside right now.
Right.
But yeah, and you know what? That's a good thing that you brought that up too, because this is another thing that I was reading about this week. Is have you heard about the whole thing with OnlyFans
Mm-hmm.
and how they are saying no more sexual content, no more nudity as of October 1st?
Not entirely true. I mean, they are going to still allow nudity, but it's going to be very Playboy. From what I understand, they are removing all sexual videos or all pornography, anything that could be considered pornographic video, which is one of the things that...
Who gets to decide what that is, though?
Exactly. And that's a problem. And so from what I understand, yes, they are still going to be allowing certain types of nude photography, but I guess they are removing a lot of the quote unquote pornography. And what they're doing essentially is slitting their own throats, because the sex industry and the sex workers particularly were what made OnlyFans successful.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of a similar thing. I think they really want it to be more like Patreon, which doesn't allow like pornography. So Patreon will allow you, I think you can sell modeling shots, and you can sell, you know, like you can sell pictures of yourself as a artist and whatnot, or as a model, but they don't allow any sexual content in Patreon, from what I understand. So you gotta skirt that line real carefully. If you're a model and you're selling cosplay pics of yourself, as long as it's not of a sexual nature, you're okay. And that's the thing. I mean, granted, the vast majority of people on Patreon or on OnlyFans are selling some kind of sexual content. There are some people that are not selling as much, you know, or not selling it as much. Like there's different levels, you know, different models do different things. Some sell straight up like, yep, here's my porn. I make porn. This is what I do. Here it is. You want to see me screwing, fucking people. You want to see me doing, you know, playing, masturbating, blah, 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 whatever. You can get that there. And then there's some people that just sell nude photography. Or I saw one model that her OnlyFans was free, but was her way of like teasing that, like, okay, everything here is free, but you can, if you know, here you can put, it was her way of advertising for like private video chat and stuff like that. And so, you know, that's what they're doing. Basically, they're just kind of like they're saying, and they were blaming their monetizing, the funding, and basically
it's Mastercard's fault.
Yeah, that Mastercard is saying no. I mean, we don't want to support any.
Well, no, what Mastercard is saying is that they have to verify that every person who subscribes and every person that puts something up is of legal age.
Okay.
And they're making it really hard for them to prove that. I mean, how do you actually prove that when it's the online thing? Right. Anyone can say, yes, I'm 18.
Right. And what they're doing is I mean, a lot of the users are saying that this is basically an attack on freedom. It's an attack on personal expression.
There is an evangelical women's group that's actually one of the big pushers for this too.
Right. Exactly. And they're saying that the you know, OnlyFans helps to so it helps trafficking of humans, which from what they're saying, statistically that's not true. It's just it's once again, it's like a systemic attack on sex workers and sex workers.
It's the same thing that happened to Pornhub a couple years ago.
A little while ago. Yeah, not even like maybe a year ago.
Yeah,
because, you know, where Pornhub basically got attacked, and they purged a large amount of the stuff that was on Pornhub. Everything had to be vetted, and everything, and then And they also like this, so you can't download the videos off of Pornhub anymore. You can I think you can if it's specifically they're selling the videos. Like some people sell videos through Pornhub. It's basically it's going to come down to another way. They're going to, all of these models and sex workers and stuff are going to have to just find a different service other than OnlyFans. So, and there's a couple other services out there, like ManyVids, I guess, is one, and there's a couple other ones out there that are just going to grow now because a lot of them are going to go over from OnlyFans, go to that. And then I guess the rapper Tyga, the day after OnlyFans announced this stuff, he announced that he is developing a OnlyFans type of site for selling, adult material.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, something else will rise to its occasion. I had a friend of mine at work actually said, why don't we just have a porn card? They just need to make some kind of credit card or something, or debit card or whatever, where you can use to buy sexual material. You'd have to, is that thunder?
Yes, it's thunder. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Dude, it's pouring out here right now, and it's just, I'm seeing flashes out the window.
Well, it's raining here, but I don't think it's coming down like it is where you're at. But anyways,
you're south of 696. I'm north, so if it came in from the north, 696 stops it, because 696 is a giant heat sink, and if you ever watch storms come in, if they come in from the south, they hit 696 and ride it right up 696, and we don't normally get hit. Yeah. But if it comes in from the north, it rides 696, and then you wouldn't get hit.
Right, exactly. But what I was saying, my friend was like, "Yeah, we just need a porn card. You need, and that's the thing. It's kind of a smart idea. If you had a credit card or a debit card that you had to prove you're 21 or 18 to get, that was issued through some kind of, service, some kind of financial service." And that would only be used for buying adult material. I think that's a fucking cool idea. I mean, it would kind of, people would, it shouldn't be the only way that you could buy adult material, but if you had this kind of thing, go, yep, here it is, here you go, and the financial, shit went through that specifically, I'm like, oh, that'd be cool. I wouldn't say that's the only way to buy stuff. You could still be able to use your credit card at a store or whatever. But I just think that I thought that was like, I mean, it would probably be more complicated than I'm making it out to be to get something like that to work. But at the same
There we go. Sorry, I don't know what the hell I hit. I hit a button. Yeah, no, I accidentally, because of the way I've got hotkeys set up, if I type anything and I hit the wrong key, I actually wound up going, like, it was like we just ended the stream. So, sorry, little bit of an issue there. Yeah. Unfortunately, it wiped out the chat on the stream itself, but yeah. But Jesus, like I said, Jesus never said anything. Jesus hung out with prostitutes. I still don't believe that a lot of the story of Jesus is actually is accurate historically. No, she was his wife. I have a feeling that Mary Magdalene was his wife, because the idea of that time frame and Jesus being a carpenter, not even a rabbi. This is before he became a rabbi, but as a carpenter, he'd have been married off at like 13. Oh, they're saying he can't hear you. Oh, yep. There we go.
Fix that.
Oh. I fixed it.
Okay.
Sorry.
I need to be heard, Chris.
Yeah.
So we should move on. That's we don't want to get into a whole bunch.
Yeah, we don't want to get into biblical stuff. So what do you want to start with? Do you want to go into the comic book news, or do you want to start with like the big drop that happened?
Okay, first let's do some quick hits. I got a couple of quick hits here. For those of you guys out there who are playing Minecraft, who really are into Minecraft, there is a new. I don't really play Minecraft myself, but I think it's fascinating, and I had the time and energy, I'd get into it. Minecraft Lego texture pack turns all the blocks around you into the most stackable, clickable looking plastic bricks you've ever seen, as spotted by PC Gamer Modder. Maceo 6 offers several versions of Mine Bricks for free on Gumroad, the highest resolution version, which also features gorgeous individually recreated brick versions of vines, will cost you at least $5. The texture pack also works with a number of popular shaders, so you can get your worlds and creations looking even better. The pack itself includes conversions of common blocks as well as crafted items. You can gaze out over your brick crafting table across fields of brick grass and brick trees. It even has new paintings which look like sticker decals you'd apply on the side of a Lego set. Or if you're a weird kid like this writer, the sticker decals you'd refuse to apply just in case you want to use that brick for something else. Even though you already have plenty of loose bricks and never take apart any of your completed sets. That's funny. Meanwhile, if you're looking towards expanding the okay, that's nothing. Never mind. So anyway, so yeah, hey man, there's a cool texture package you can get that makes your Minecraft look like Legos. Also, let's see, a couple of things here. Okay, so they will be relaunching the Hulk soon. They are ending the book and relaunching it with a new #1. Ryan Otley will be doing the artwork on Hulk. Ryan Otley was one of the artists that was on Invincible for almost the entirety of the run of Invincible. He was the second artist, not the original artist, but the second one. So Ryan Otley will be taking over the Hulk in a couple of months. It says, let me see, November 3rd. And Hulk #1 goes on sale November 3rd. I might be picking that up because I'm a big fan of Ryan Otley's work. And I think he was drawing Spider-Man for a while too. And now he's gone over to the Gamma side. And it looks pretty cool. We're looking at some of the images that I'm looking at. Apparently he gets in a fight with the Hulkbuster armor, Iron Man armor. And yeah, it looks pretty fucking badass. The Hulk #1 pits the Smastronaut against the Iron Man Hulkbuster. So pretty cool. Also, it was recently revealed that the Daredevil would be coming to an end. The comic book, long-running comic book Daredevil, but it will reach its explosive final issue in November 10th, Daredevil #36, which is like the current run of the book. A week later, however, the writer Chip Zdarsky says not so fast. Okay, so a Marvel Comics press release went out, and it's incendiary and got tongues wagging. And now I've been around a long time, and so have you. My average reader is men in the 60 to 70-year-old demo. So you know there's a bit of sales and marketing dance happening here. He does say that although Daredevil will be on pause after Daredevil 36, because there will be events in the upcoming issues that cause it to spiral out of control. So there will be a Daredevil returning, but it's going to be a little bit later on. We talked about this before. Let's not. I was just gonna get into some. Wow, that's crazy sauce, man.
That one startled me because it was really close.
I was going to get into some Starfield stuff, but it looks like it's pretty much everything we've already talked about Starfield coming out in 22. Unfortunately, in November of 22, so we're a little over a year away from the new Bethesda space RPG, November 11th of 22, and it will be on Xbox and PC. They revealed a little bit, but not a whole lot about the gameplay and stuff. I just know I'm really looking forward to playing that game. Also, it's kind of a big deal this week was revealed that Skyrim is getting another new release. So we talked about this on Tavern Nights a bit last night, but Skyrim, for its 10-year anniversary. Now, the understanding that it's actually been around for a bit longer than that, but apparently no, it's 10 years coming up in November, and they're doing a new release of the game. They're talking during QuakeCon, Bethesda announced that it would release Skyrim Anniversary Edition on Skyrim's 10th birthday, November 11th, providing an opportunity for meme lords to dust off gags about its endless cycle of ports and re-releases once again. Said Anniversary Edition will feature over 500 unique pieces of content from the Creation Club. And if you've already bought Skyrim Special Edition, you'll be able to buy it as an upgrade. Even if you don't buy the upgrade, Skyrim Special Edition is getting a fishing update, adding new mechanics that will let you grab a fishing pole and do some fishing quests. It also is going to be giving a couple of other things too, even if you don't buy the update, from what I understand. Bethesda has now given out some more info about both the Anniversary Edition and the fishing update, as well as its other plans for the RPG's birthday. First up, fishing isn't the only thing existing players of Skyrim Special Edition will get, with 2 of the Creation Club's paid mods joining it for free. Survival Mode, an optional difficulty modifier that adds hunger, fatigue, and cold mechanics, more diseases, plus limitations on fast travel, health regeneration, carry weight, and so on. And Saints and Seducers, a quest mod themed around the Shivering Isles, which also includes Rare Curios, a mod that brings back ingredients from Morrowind and Oblivion. The Anniversary Edition will come with all 48 currently available creations in the Creation Club, as well as 26 that have yet to be released. The claim of over 500 unique pieces of content is based on breaking down those creations into individual elements such as quests, items, armor, houses, etc. That's everything from pet foxes, Nyx hounds, and mud crabs to new weapons and clothes, the return of old favorites like the Great Cowl and goblins, and tweaks like the addition of camping and backpacks. You could, of course, just download a selection of the best Skyrim Special Edition mods to achieve a similar effect, and not have to worry about how the only way to disable Creation Club stuff you don't like is to manually delete the .esl and .bsa files yourself. So that's going to be pretty fucking cool. I might even buy the upgrade because I do love Skyrim a lot. It is one of my favorite games of all time, and we were talking about last night that Chris hasn't played the game much beyond like a couple of hours because he punked out.
Well, no, it's just I played the like intro, and that was about as far as I got, and I just haven't gotten back to it because it didn't grab me in the intro. And honestly, I mean, I'm playing on a game that is 10 years old, so the graphics are 10 years old.
No, actually, the graphics they did get a graphics upgrade.
They still look like they're 10 years old.
It's more like they're 6 years old at this point, because like I said, when they released the special edition, it got a massive graphic update. The trees, the backgrounds, everything got a big.
Well, the backgrounds look nice, but the characters themselves look like they're 10 years old. They are not what I'm used to. They are not cyberpunk graphics.
No, that's true. They are not up to the current level. I would love to see Skyrim get a complete and total graphic update. I think it would be amazing. It would be massive. It would probably take a lot of work.
Yeah, it would. They'd have to basically recreate the entire game.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's some modders out there that are doing something like that. But we have, but you know what? As much as I would love that,
there aren't enough triangles left in the world, man.
As much as I would love that, I want Bethesda to just keep working on Elder Scrolls 6 because I want my Elder Scrolls 6 because Skyrim is, of course, Elder Scrolls 5. And we still do not have a release date for Elder Scrolls 6. It will definitely be it will be probably in 23 or 24 because they have already said that it will not be coming out before Starfield, and Starfield is their release date is November 11th, 22. So and then of course they've got to give their fans time to play the fuck out of that game before they will bring out the new one. So I mean, we also don't have a date on on Fallout, Fallout 5, but they are constantly making updates to Fallout 76, which has been really improving a great deal. So last but surely not least on the quick hits, I'm not going to go into it a great deal, but they did release a massive update, the biggest update and patch fix for Cyberpunk 2077.
Speaking of,
was 1.3, and they, speaking of exactly 1.3, they did do. It does also have their first small amount of DLC. There's not a lot of it. It's basically a new car and some clothing items. Now, at first they were saying, "Oh, it's just 2 jackets." Well, actually, the gamers and whatnot have been figuring out it's actually a lot more than just that. There's a bunch of other updates and or a bunch of other clothing items. Like some of them are just kind of recolorations of older ones and kind of variations, but they did make an update of a lot more clothes. And they have made a massive amount of updates, changes to weapons and how various cybernetic powers work and a bunch of other things.
Yeah, so one of the things I would love to see in Cyberpunk is the ability to basically the transmogrifier type thing, where you can just make your outfit look if you have clothes, you can make it look like whatever set of clothes you've already gotten, not things that you haven't gotten, but things that you have gotten. Because I will tell you what, my biggest beef with that game is the fact that I look like a fucking moron.
Right. Yeah, me too.
I'm wearing like turquoise shorts and a cowboy hat and a leather jacket and no,
not me, man. Not me. I mean,
a gas mask.
Right.
You know,
I picked if I got something that was really, really awesome, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to put that on my character. It just looks ridiculous. Even though you don't see your character much in the game, unless you're riding a motorcycle in the game. That's the only time you can actually see your character, because they did away with the third person thing. Now there have been mods that have been created for the computer version so that you can play third person. But it really kind of
fucks things up.
Right, it's kind of problematic sometimes. So there were a lot of things that were scrapped on Cyberpunk 2077. A lot of plans and a lot of different things that were scrapped. But
yeah, the ridiculousness of the outfits is what gets me. If you want like the best armor and your best armor values and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, Renee. Sometimes it's all about me. Like tonight, I'm emotionally fragile right now. It is one of those things about Cyberpunk. There's just so many things that were nerfed or scrapped before it opened up, and it's just too bad. It's too bad that they haven't gotten around to fixing all that stuff yet. But I am looking forward to when they finally do, and they do release some of the new DLC that they have been talking about. One of the things I would love to be able to take, like you were saying, take the perfect armor that you found, or whatever, the jacket, the pants, or whatever, and make them look like the items you've already established, so your character looks awesome.
Yeah, so they look the way you want them to look.
Right. One thing they did also do, they also created a new an alternate Johnny Silverhand, so you can make Johnny look different now too.
For people that don't want him to look like Keanu Reeves?
No, he'll still look like Keanu, but he'll have a different outfit on, a different hairstyle. Yeah. Look a little less like real life Keanu and more like Keanu actually in like a costume, so.
Well, see, I think he looks great. I mean, that's the way I've always pretty much always pictured Johnny Silverhand, because that's the whole thing is Johnny Silverhand goes back to the original Cyberpunk 2020.
Yeah, for sure.
As do most of those other characters in that storyline.
Right. It's I thought he looked great. Johnny Silverhand, I thought he looked, he was a rocker boy. He looked fucking cool as fuck. So yeah. So the images I saw just made it look a little more punk, I guess. A little more cyberpunk and less rock star, I guess. Yeah. So but that's an option. You can actually activate that in the options menu, I guess. So turn it on, turn it off if you want. So
so Lower Decks came out. We actually have Lower Decks again now. Star Trek Lower Decks.
First 2 episodes have been launched so far. I caught the second one today before the show, and it just keeps getting better.
The first one I thought was kind of meh. It was kind of
okay.
yeah. But the second one I thought was absolutely fantastic.
Oh my God, there were so many callbacks. Let's say so. The first one, they go down to a planet, and the first officer of the Cerritos gets gifted with godlike abilities. You know, it's one of those things. You know,
That's never happened in Star Trek.
Never happens. And so they're trying to figure out how to reverse it, and it's Ransom, right? It's Jerry O'Connell's character, and it's funny too because when I see the character, and I just don't hear Jerry O'Connell. I think he's doing a really good job of not doing his, just doing a voice that is not recognizable to my ears as Jerry O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
And as somebody, I've always been a fan of Jerry O'Connell. I like what he does. I've liked his career. I followed his career. I mean, we're roughly the same age, so all the way going back to Stand By Me, I've always kind of liked him. And
Sliders.
And My Secret Identity, and just so to hear him, I was like, wow, I just don't. It's weird, but it was really funny, and it went down to a lot about the relationship between the captain and her daughter, and about how they've been working together, and they're not happy working together. Like they keep going on these missions together, and mom keeps bringing home these trophies, and the daughter is what's her name again?
Mariner.
And Mariner keeps being like, she wants to kind of go back to like hanging out with her friends more and stuff. And they get into,
you don't have to keep something from every trip,
every mission, Mom. Jeez. And they talk about how Boimler is over on the Titan with Captain Riker, and how he's constantly,
he must be having a great time.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he's like the con officer, and he's like constantly scared and screaming because they're because they're always in battle and doing and fighting,
or going in doing crazy things. And
right, well, the Titan is the flagship now.
Yep.
So they're the new Enterprise, where they're constantly doing that kind of stuff, but yet on the second episode, it shows that they're less like the Enterprise, because the Enterprise was an exploratory vessel.
Yes.
And the Titan seems to be more like a combat vessel. They're a little more, they go in where the action is.
Yep.
And the
my
Enterprise
lights keep flickering here, by the way. Just
yeah, I've been noticing. So, and whereas, like you said, the Enterprise D was on a 5-year mission of exploring and to seek out new life and new civilizations, to boldly go where no one has gone before. And that's obviously not what the Titan obviously does. So Boimler is kind of unhappy. But one of the cool things,
he even brings that up in the second episode, that he wanted to explore.
Right. And but yeah, it's really cool. There's 2 storylines in the second episode where there's a collector, basically, that these people that go around collecting rare items around the universe, and they make some jokes like, did that guy try and collect Data? Yeah, he did. And why can't they just leave Data alone? He just wanted to be loved, And so apparently this one collector has passed away, and another collector is like, I want, I've been tasked with selling off his collection, but I need your help because there could be a bunch of stuff that
is dangerous
and everything. So they go into this ship, and Mariner and her 2 friends, the Orion girl and the cyborg guy,
and the replacement for
the replacement Boimler. Yeah. It was actually like a pretty solid young officer. But
security officer.
Well, no, they had the security officer.
Well, they had the security chief, but he's also security or engineering, because he's a yellow shirt.
But that was the thing that was cool. The new security chief of the ship, because the security chief, the previous one was a Bajoran. I was like, this thing. The new guy is from that race that speaks all in metaphor.
Yeah.
From Darmok, from one of the best episodes of Next Generation there ever was. Darmok and Jalad at Tanagra. You're like, oh my god, and I was just like, oh my god. And so that was pretty cool, because he spoke a few times, and he's like, oh, the translator doesn't always work right with me. And I was just I'm like, oh my god. And it's one of the things that I love about Lower Decks.
He also said something about, at one point, that he's still trying to figure out the Federation basic.
Right, yeah. And I really, one of the things I really love about Lower Decks is how referential it is, you know. And so they go and they go into the ship where the collector has all of his stuff, and accidentally somebody sets off the alarm, and this hologram goes on and says, if you're seeing this, it means I'm dead and you're trying to steal my collection, so guess what, now you get to become part of my collection. And the security chief gets turned into a puppet, like literally gets turned into
a hand puppet,
a hand puppet. And so they're carrying him around, and he's just like, you know, and so they're carrying him around, and they're like, oh my god. And they're fighting because, you know, Mariner wants to take a more direct route that's very dangerous, and the new guy is kind of like, you know, no, he would do it this way, it's more safer. But the entire time you're seeing things, I'm looking in the background going, oh my god, that's from that episode, and that's from this episode. And they say there's a point they go in one area, and there's a giant skeleton in a
Starfleet uniform.
In his first, for an original series Starfleet uniform. Now that
Science blue,
right? It's a reference to the original animated series where there was a giant clone of Spock was created. I was like, he was a giant Spock, and that was that guy's skeleton. You know, I mean, I'm just like, oh, holy crap! But there were so many things in the background. You saw weapons that they had seen on the show, and different devices, and I mean, some of the shit was really funny, like the Kales's helmet of
fornication or
fornication or something, and some shit was really goofy and silly. But and
that was the thing the guy wanted the most was
that was the thing the guy stole that activated the security measures. But it was just like, I'm like, the entire episode, if you watch it carefully, and if you're a Star Trek fan, you can see a lot of references to across the board, so many Star Trek things. It was pretty cool. And then the other storyline was basically Boimler.
Lots of throwbacks there too.
Lots of throwbacks there. They're going up against these Packlets that were basically,
you make us go fast.
Yeah, it's like, we need to hit it with the axe, you know. And just so
the guys that steal other technologies.
Right. And Boimler is on this away mission, and he's like with these other tough guy officers that are off the Titan, and he's like, and he's finally able, and they're all like, hey, remember when Riker was on the Enterprise and they had like poetry readings and string quartets, and that place had 5 daycare centers, like, you know, shit like that. And you're like, how lame could that be? And Boimler's like, you talking about the Enterprise D? I mean, they did some great stuff, and you know, and it was just like, it was cool because Boimler was able to get them because they thought they were all going to die, to admit that they joined Starfleet not to kick ass. They joined Starfleet because they wanted to do Starfleet things. One guy was like, I just like beaming, you know. And what was really cool was that there was a reference to the episode, the Star Trek: The Next Generation, where Riker got like cloned, essentially, where his
replicator clone,
transporter clone. Yeah, the signal got bounced back and whatnot, and the same thing happened to Boimler. And they were like, and their episode pretty much ends with Boimler with Riker going, well, you know, Starfleet regulations mean we can't have two beings, the exact same beings in the same ship, and blah blah blah. And you know, it's our I think he said something like, our missions are just too complicated for that, you know. So he goes, so I'm gonna have to send one of you back to the Cerritos, and so one of them opts to stay on the Titan. And it was really funny.
Well, one steps forward. He's like, I thought we were both going to.
I thought we were both going to step forward. Yeah. Well, yeah. He's like, no, I'm cool to stay here, man. Yeah. So so the original Boimler goes back to the Cerritos, and there's like a happy reunion, basically.
But it's also a little sad because the new guy gets pushed out.
Right. Yeah. You notice he just kind of gets like, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go. You guys have history and things to talk about. So I'm just gonna. I bet we're gonna see him again, and it's
I'm sure
it's gonna continue to be awkward
Yeah.
Because he's going to be like, he's going to be that constant fifth wheel kind of thing, you know? So,
well, and
the show is so good.
The whole thing was it the first show where what's her name? The medical ensign.
The Orion girl.
The Orion girl.
I forget her name.
And where she was trying to fix the cyborg because she knew that there was something wrong with him.
Yes, exactly.
Because he liked that one, because he obviously had whatever it was, because he was liking things that he didn't like before, like he liked pears, and now he liked this one girl that he went on a date with and said nope, it's not going to work, and now he's going on like a third date with her, and
you like pears? You never liked pears before.
Yeah. And she's like, I just need to cut it out.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I tell you, man, this show has just been so good, and it just keeps getting better. I mean, people were like, I don't know if this is the Star Trek that I want to, and I'm like, it's the comedy Star Trek,
yes.
But it's still, it's not punching down at it, it's punching up, man. It's Star Trek. It's this beautiful referential kind of wonderful Star Trek that
it's a lot of homages. It's kind of like what Orville does. In that
very much.
It's not quite as crude as some of the Orville stuff, but it's pretty close. And which I'm looking forward to getting more Orville too.
Yes,
but
me too.
With Lower Decks, I mean, it's still Star Trek. It's still that universe. It's still all of that, and it's still not it's not always the the bridge crew and stuff. It's the people who do other things that have to clean things up, and the extras on the away missions and things like that, and how they feel about things. Because honestly, I still think it's fucking stupid that on every mission it's like, okay, this is going to be really dangerous, so we're going to send the first officer, the head of medical, and the chief engineer down. It's like, what?
It was one of the things I liked. It's actually one of the things that I did like about Star Trek: The Next Generation was the fact that the captain rarely went on away missions. It was one of those like.
But they sent the heads of every other fucking department down.
Sure, yeah, they did. A lot. It was one of those things, but once again, it was kind of silly though that in the original show, the captain, the first officer, the medical officer, the chief engineer, those were the guys that quite often went down on the ship, and down on the away missions, and at least in Next Generation, the captain rarely went.
No, but the first officer, and
he said the first officer. And usually the second officer,
the chief of security, the second officer, Data.
Now you want to think though that there were at least a lot of other, viable and other good officers on that ship that could take their places and stuff. I mean, it was the flagship, so there were, I'm sure, plenty of officers.
If they send Riker down with a team of engineers, medical staff, and security, but not the heads of all of those other departments. Or they send down the chief engineer because there's something technical that they really need to look at, with a team of engineers and security and maybe a medical officer and someone from the bridge crew, but not the first officer or the heads of any of those other ones. You risk one of your chiefs.
Exactly. Not all of them.
And that would be like a huge thing. It would have to be something super important, because
right.
I mean, one of Murphy's laws of combat is don't look important, or try not to look important, because the enemy may be low on ammunition.
Right. Exactly. They always take out the officers first.
Yep.
So we should move on. We've got a couple more things to talk about here.
Oh yeah, and we got to get through them. So let's talk about the trailer.
Yeah, we got to talk about that trailer, man.
Holy shit! Just holy shit!
So the Spider-Man, the new Spider-Man trailer dropped yesterday.
No Way Home.
No Way Home, and wow, holy crap in a hat! I'm jazzed as all hell. I mean, I'm loving that Doctor Strange is a major part of the movie, and
to the
right,
point where it looks like he might be a villain in the movie,
or at least some kind of villainous kind of thing. It looks to me like maybe
or at least at odds with Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think what looks more like is like maybe Spider-Man's trying to fix things or do something, and Doc Strange is like, no, we have to do it this way. We can't do it your way. We got to do it this way because he knows more. So I got a little article here that kind of picks out a bunch of things here. No Way Home trailer breakdown the 13 biggest talking points in sequence.
Well, before you do that though, the end of that trailer.
Holy crap, man. I at first when I saw the little pumpkin bomb, I'm like, wait a minute, what the fuck is that? A Mysterious? Oh my god.
Yeah.
No. And then
you hear actually Willem Dafoe's laugh.
Right. And that was a pumpkin bomb.
Yep.
And then you get Kong. And you see one of Doc Ock's arms come up out of the thing, and then you hear, "Hello, Peter." And there's oh man,
I'm blanking on his name too.
I had it earlier.
Yeah. Let's see. Go here.
Because Spider-Man 2 was my favorite of the three.
Stop! Damn it!
Molina.
Yeah.
Alfred Molina. And because Spider-Man 2 was my favorite of those three. In fact, I'd say it was my favorite of the before they made the new ones with Tom Holland. I'd say Spider-Man 2 is my favorite.
I think so. I think it was mine too. Three was abysmal.
Yeah, 3 was abysmal, but I didn't hate the Andrew Garfield ones. The 2 that came after that.
I only saw the first one. I actually never saw the second one.
Yeah, it was okay,
which is interesting because Jamie Foxx is supposed to be back as Electro in this too.
Correct.
So, and I never saw that one. And I heard that he was actually the best thing in the second Andrew Garfield movie.
It's pretty good. Overall, those were still decent Spider-Man movies. I had a few issues here and there with them, but Spider-Man 2 is my overall favorite for sure.
Yeah, I think we've talked about the fact that both of us thought that Tobey Maguire was a good Peter. Andrew Garfield was a good Spider-Man.
Spidey-Man.
Yeah. But they weren't good in the opposite. So and then Tom Holland, I think, is the whole package.
Yeah. And I didn't hate Andrew Garfield as Peter, but I just didn't like that particular version of Peter.
He was too cool.
He was too cool. Peter is supposed to be a lovable geek, and
it's actually the one thing I don't like about the new ones is that Mary Jane is too smart.
Well, Mary Jane's always been an intelligent person.
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I mean she's not. She's more that. I don't like the way that they're portraying her, because she was more the party girl.
Right.
And
yeah, she's supposed to be she was supposed to be like I said, not a dumb woman, or a bimbo or anything, but she was supposed to be the girl that
like to have a good time. And
she used her personality to to gain favor and to gain popularity.
She was a model. She was an actress. She was
and they've done a lot with
I don't hate Zendaya as
no, not at all.
I like her as an actress, and I think I like her as Peter's love interest, but I just don't see her as Mary Jane.
Yeah, and I can see I see her point. I do think though that I continue to see
I do like her in the preview though. I really do. With the whole, where she's reading the paper and she's like, they say he has the male spider's ability to
control females,
to hypnotize females. He's like, oh, stop it. Yes, my spider lord.
Some really, really funny stuff. But so let's go through these points a little bit here. We got the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer certainly delivered, and then some. It took the abundance of leaks and rumors in the past 12 months and incredibly managed to one-up all of our wildest expectations for the threequel. We've already seen returning villains, a major shakeup in Spider-Man's life based on a controversial comic, and a theory that suggests Doctor Strange isn't who says he is. That's just the tip of the iceberg. Below, we'll break down why the No Way Home trailer is so important, an overview of the teaser's events, and a deeper look at all the biggest spoilers and secrets to emerge from the first look at one of Marvel's Phase 4's weirdest and wildest entries. The aftermath of Far From Home. So we're seeing it goes right into pretty much after Far From Home when Peter's identity gets revealed. In the case you'd forgotten, Spider-Man Far From Home ended with Spidey's real identity, teenage Peter Parker, being revealed to the world thanks to Mysterio's dying and doctored message. As the No Way Home trailer shows, the threequel picks up minutes after the second movie. In the trilogy, you can see Peter swinging down the street with Zendaya and itching to get away from a baying crowd. No Way Home, it seems, will open up with Peter's escape before going into hiding. As the trailer shows later on, he's eventually coaxed back to school life. J. Jonah Jameson's return. We have the original actor J.K. Simmons, who's been playing J. Jonah for the last 20 some odd years, and he returns in Far From Home. He was in the Far From Home.
I still think that is a perfect casting, and it always has
absolutely,
been.
Always has been. You can hear him in the No Way Home trailer saying Spider-Man is in fact Peter Parker. So we have that Peter Parker in handcuffs. Surprisingly, Pete's big secret in the framing of Mysterio's murder lands him in hot water with the law. Parker is seen in handcuffs and chained to a desk in one scene, presumably at a police station for questioning. Funny thing is he could easily snap those handcuffs. Unless this is serious misdirect, the trailer does allow us to piece together the chronology of the film a little. Peter Parker flees, Peter Parker is brought into custody, and for whatever reason, Peter Parker gets off scot-free. Why? It might have a little something to do with a certain God-fearing lawyer. Is that Matt Murdock? Trust MCU fans to fixate on a hairy arm, but they might have a point here. The hirsute limb could belong to Matt Murdock actor Charlie Cox, someone who's long been linked with an appearance in Spider-Man No Way Home. The white shirt, stripy tie, and rolled-up sleeves are all eerily similar to how Murdock looked when practicing law in Netflix's Daredevil series. The jury is still out on this one. We'll have to wait for a second trailer to provide some more compelling evidence. Flash Thompson's new look. Peter Parker's classmate Flash is also present in the trailer. He can be spotted behind Zendaya as they walk to school, and he's now got blonde hair. That falls in line with his comic book counterpart and shows that Spidey's mega fan is now siding with Peter Parker in an ironic twist. And the interesting thing is, Flash Thompson in the comics was interesting how they changed him in here, because Peter goes to a brainy school.
Yeah, he goes to the Science Institute.
Science Institute, right? So Flash also goes there. So he's not a big jock, but he is a rich, popular guy.
Yeah.
And
he's a rich prick.
He's a rich prick, right? But in the comics, he was always a big fan of Spidey and never liked Pete.
Yeah.
And then until later on, and they got older and everybody grows up, and then Flash got to know Pete better. So in this part, he's gonna
They were actually roommates for a while.
They were. Mm-hmm. Returning locations and a hint of No Way Home's place on the timeline. Well, you sure you won't miss this one. The Sanctum Sanctorum is back. Doctor Strange's abode is still looking the worse for wear after Hulk crashed through its roof in Infinity War. That's why snow is everywhere, and also suggests the movie partly takes place across fall and winter of 24, from Halloween into the snowy season. That's backed up by the Christmas-themed set photos that were snapped earlier this year. Midtown High looks like it's also back as a familiar location for MCU Spidey fans thanks to the snap. Peter, Ned, and MJ still have to finish their studies. It also proves that Tom Holland's teenager isn't content to go into hiding forever. He's trying his best to return to normality before having doubts later through the school year. What's wrong with Doctor Strange? Something is up with the Sorcerer Supreme. He's being reckless, looks menacing, and is playing around with space and time, which is a big no-no. See, now I noticed that in the trailer too. His hair looks helmetish, and he looks more like a menacing version a little bit. I don't know.
And he comes off that way too.
Yeah. So one theory already reckons Mephisto is taken on the form of Strange. I think that's bullshit. I don't think
people just want Mephisto in everything.
They want Mephisto. There are other possibilities too, namely that this is a darker Strange variant, potentially the one glimpsed in What If early trailers, or that if it's an incredibly complex Mysterio projection. No, I won't buy that.
Well, see, one of the things I had thought about too was what's his name, Mordo.
Yeah, that's cool, possibly. Whatever the case may be, it's clear that Doctor Strange isn't his usual self. The multiverse is cracked open. Well, this is it. Wanda started it in WandaVision after hearing the voices of her children while examining the Darkhold. Later on, Sylvie split apart the sacred timeline in Loki. Now Doctor Strange's spell might have completely finished the job. The multiverse has been split wide open, and who knows what could come tumbling out of it. Either way, it's open season for a whole host of alternate versions of heroes and villains to interact in a big way. Next up, after No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness. This might just be the beginning of the multiverse saga. First look at Spidey's new suit. The black and gold suit has been leaked already thanks to some official merchandise, but this is our first shot at it in action. An unmasked Peter Parker is seen sprinting through a building while wearing the new suit. Previous reports indicate that it might have some magic-based powers for Pete to use, but there's no sign of any spruced up upgrades just yet. What's in the box? At one moment from the trailer, Spider-Man gets hit so hard by Doctor Strange it becomes an astral projection. That's pretty intriguing in and of itself, but it's what the webhead is holding that might be of more interest. Spider-Man is carrying an odd box-shaped artifact. Perhaps it's something he swiped from the Sanctum, or it's the key to putting the pieces of the multiverse back together again, but it's something that's putting Strange and Spidey on a collision course, which hints that's probably too powerful for the wall crawler to get gripped with. Happy Hogan is back. Jon Favreau's one-time head of security for Tony Stark is back for his third Spider-Man movie. Hogan is looking less than happy here, though he's surrounded by an army of armored men. Our best guess, this is taken from early or on in the movie, as is as much of these trailer scenes during the Hunt for Spider-Man. Every returning villain so far. Alfred Molina's Dr. Octopus is the biggest name here, but did you spot the others? Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin could be heard laughing as his trademark pumpkin bombs roll towards a vehicle, while a combination of lightning and sand hint that Jamie Foxx's Electro and Sandman from Spider-Man 3 are in No Way Home. Throw in Lizard leaping at the glass behind Tom Holland in one scene, and it's seemingly going to be a movie absolutely packed with a literal murderer's row of Spider-Man villains. With 5 villains seemingly already on the table, it could go a step further and show the formation of a supervillain group, the Sinister Six.
I'll say it's the Sinister Six.
And then last but not least, a new character, but not everyone is familiar. At 2 minutes and 36 seconds, you see a mystery woman sitting in the backseat of a car. Some on social media think the Blink and You'll Miss It actor is Barry's Paula Newsome. She's even had some fun replying to a Spider-Man tweet just a few weeks ago, which sent alarm bells ringing. No word yet on who she might be playing. Spider-Man No Way Home swings into cinemas on December 17th. I'm super excited. I'm loving there's a lot of, they're rehashing a lot of the effects from Doctor Strange, you know, the multiverse stuff, the twisted, weird way of depicting things.
And they're going to be pulling Spider-Man in as an anchor to the multiverse. So
I think that's what they're going to do. I mean, when Loki split the timeline, it went from being a strand to being a web. And when it comes to multiversal stories in Marvel Comics, Spider-Man is almost always a big part of it because it's a web. It's depicted as a web. And then there's a bunch, the Spider-Man animated film was about multiversal Spider-Man. So I think very much.
Was it next year we get the second one?
I think so. We're going to be seeing a lot. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Spider-Man. We're going to be seeing a lot more versions of Spider-Man. And I think we're going to be seeing a lot more Tom Holland because there was talk. Is it going to continue on? Because after this movie, his contract was up. And, or I think actually after the filming that he's been doing, his contract is up because he is supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness as well. So there was like, okay, is he going to renew his contract? Yeah, he's going to renew his contract. So there is also talk, there has been talk of rumors that apparently Marvel is looking to buy Sony. Like Disney is looking to buy Sony, or there's been some chatter about that Sony.
I've seen a lot of jokes about, how do you get, all the Spider-Man stuff back in the by Sony.
Yeah, by Sony. So yeah, I saw earlier this week, there was a bunch of that kind of
stuff.
And
it's not that they want to buy the entire Sony company, they want to buy their movie section.
Exactly. They just want Spider-Man back.
Yep.
So
it's Spider-Man and isn't there something else that's Sony?
No, Spider-Man's the only thing really.
Is it
Spider that they own at Marvel? Yeah.
I thought there was 2 things there, but maybe not. But yes, I'm looking forward to this. This is one I'm definitely looking forward to. I've enjoyed all the both the Spider-Man movies so far. I think Tom Holland is fantastic. Um, I like the way that they just write him in, and and for being as old as he is, he plays a teenager great.
Yeah, well, he's gonna be. I mean, he's gonna be. He's gonna look like he's 20 until he's 40. So
Yeah,
he's
that's like Michael
got
J.
a
Fox
form.
did the same thing.
Right. He's gonna look like a young guy, quite a young guy, until he doesn't, and I'm sure that that's not gonna change. So I'm sure that we're going to get at least another half a dozen movies out of him where he's playing Spider-Man.
And yeah, and I think this one is going to be one that's going to be so packed full of things that it may be overwhelming in how much is going to be packed into a 2.5 hour movie.
I agree. So to move on, guys, we'll be bringing a lot of Spider-Man news to you as soon as we get it. It's pretty awesome. I did want to mention real quick, Black Widow. Talked about it a little bit, but it's very there's a lot of family element. They really push the family element. It is definitely the way you make an action-based superhero movie with a female lead.
Was she overshadowed by her sister?
I disagree. I do not think that was the case. Some people thought it was. I don't think so. I think we are going to see more Florence Pugh in the future.
But yeah, she's supposed to be the new Black Widow.
She's going to be in the Hawkeye TV show. That's already been kind of revealed. I think that's she is going to be showing up in Hawkeye, and then they are saying yes, that's the new Black Widow. You definitely need to stay until the end of the credits because there is an end credit scene, which is really great. But David Harbour was amazing.
So it's an end credit, not mid credit.
It is an end credit.
Okay.
David Harbour was amazing as the Red Guardian. He was really funny, really cool. Just
still
funny.
fits.
It still fits, Did a great Russian accent. The woman from The Mummy,
Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz, yeah, she plays.
She's amazing.
Mother figure. She's incredible. Still looks amazing, and she also was great in that role. The special effects were really cool. One of the things that was funny, like Stella and I took Stella to see it with me, and she said to me, she goes, "Okay, so what kind of powers does the Black Widow have?" And I go, "She doesn't really have powers. She's just really, really well trained and really good at her job.
She's a great spy.
She's a super spy. There's a super soldier, and she's a super spy. And now, originally in the comics, she did, right, it's crazy. Originally in the comics, she didn't really have any powers, but over the years, they've kind of established maybe she does kind of have some slight enhancements. At the very least, it's rumored that she's much older than she looks. That her aging was slowed due to experiments and things in the Red Room and things that the Russian government did to her. But that's, once again, it's never been fully established. And if I were to, I'd have to look it up, but I could look it up in the book. But I think in my Marvel Encyclopedia, but I think from what they state, she's just very well trained. And I mean, her devices and arm and costume and stuff, have some give her some advantage as well. But Stella was like, man, she got punched across the face a couple of times. She didn't lose any teeth. She didn't she shrugged it off. I go, yeah, if you know how to take a punch, you can take a punch, I mean, but still, it is one of those things that you have to suspend your disbelief because it's a superhero film,
Yep.
And but they are just great. So it is really great. Go and see it. Go and see it in the theater if you can, because it's really cool. You did say that you were probably going to try.
I'm going to try. But we need to talk about the last thing real quick though too. The other thing that I've been hearing is there's strong rumors that Ironheart will be showing up in Black Panther 2.
Yes, I've also heard that as well. We'll be seeing Riri Williams, essentially the new Iron Man or Iron person, is going to be showing up in Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever. So,
but speaking of Wakanda Forever, we'll get into this week's What If.
What if episode 2?
Yep. What if
T'Challa
became Star-Lord?
Right. Now, I just watched this like an hour, but like a half an hour. I finished it 10 minutes before I signed on. I liked it.
I loved it.
Let me finish. I liked it because it was irreverent, it was funny, and they did a lot of really cool things. There were a few things that, John, my buddy John here, he said to me, he goes, he just hates it that the Guardians of the Galaxy are made out to be goofballs. That Star-Lord originally in the comics, was a really together guy. He was a space hero. He was like Buck Rogers kind of character. He was a space hero. And Peter Quill, or Chris Pratt's depiction of Peter Quill turned him into a fucking goofball. And I gotta say, they kind of did the opposite here, where they took a character, T'Challa, who's really together and smart and charismatic. His superpower essentially is charisma in this, because we get a T'Challa before he's taken the mystic route and become an enhanced human, basically another form of super soldier, as the Black Panther. The Black Panther has a lot of his ability comes from his armor, of course, and his suit and his weapons, but he's also enhanced his strength and agility, and his senses are enhanced because of the mystic root that he ingests.
That's why if he's challenged, they have to take it away.
Right. So so you see a T'Challa without those physical enhancements, you see, and without the vibranium weaponry, you see him with the Star-Lord stuff. And that's one of the things that was really cool, when he's taking that sphere at the beginning, and which had an Infinity Stone in it, they don't even deal with. But they take that sphere at the beginning, and there's Korath the Pursuer, who's a fucking badass, really, when you really deal with it. The Pursuers were one step down from Accusers in the Kree. So he's pretty much a badass. And the guy's like a huge fan.
He just becomes a fanboy. He fanboys out.
Totally fanboy. And he's like, hey, I'd be willing to go through a career change, and that was so fucking funny. And the fact that he was able to change Thanos's mind.
Oh yeah. And Thanos became a Ravager.
He became a Ravager, and he turned the Ravagers into, instead of being pirates, they were freedom fighters.
So when Renee and I were watching it, I made the correlation of to D&D, in that it's the difference between Star-Lord the Rogue, and Star-Lord the Paladin.
Yes, exactly, and that's exactly what it is. He changed through his influence, and through influencing Yondu and the rest of the Ravagers. He made them freedom fighters and whatnot, as opposed to a force for good, as opposed to a bunch of space pirates. And that cracked me up. But I gotta say, Thanos, it would take a lot more than a charismatic guy from Wakanda to change Thanos into a good guy.
But it was still entertaining. It was still fun, and it's an alternate universe.
Oh, of course.
So that's the whole thing, and I love that Thanos still hasn't abandoned that idea, though.
Sure. Yeah.
Throughout the entire thing, you hear him talking with people like, "It's still a good idea."
Yeah. They're like, genocide's not a good idea. Thanos, big guy. The fact that there's the other thing too, like the all of Thanos's former cronies that were working for the Collector, it took them out kind of easily comparatively.
The Blackguard
guys, these are guys that went up against Avengers, like entire teams of Avengers.
See, I don't think they took them out real easy, because they still got beat up pretty bad. But one of the things I will
did
say
like
this.
I did like how Thanos was like, you really got to see him throw down against
Yeah.
a couple of them though too, because he's tough.
Yep. Well, and one of the other things I loved was just the sheer number of people that they got to come back for this one.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it was pretty much everyone.
Well, this was also Chadwick Boseman's last.
Yeah, but they didn't know that when they filmed it.
They kind of did. He was getting sick. He was definitely sick when they filmed. They knew he had cancer when they were filming the Avengers films.
Well, yeah. But they didn't know how bad he was. They didn't
know he was necessarily going to die, but they knew he was sick, and they knew he was, So apparently, from what I understand, he recorded three different times for. There's couple different episodes where you see the Black Panther in What If. So we will see him again in another episode, but it won't be, from what I understand, it won't be like a Black Panther centric episode.
Yeah.
So,
but I will say this: I found this one extremely entertaining.
It was fun, and I gotta say, I love the animation. It's so beautiful. It's smooth. I do love the fact that they keep bringing all of these various actors back to reprise their roles.
Well, and then the very end of the show, we see Ego finally finding Peter.
Peter, right?
Who's working at a fast food place.
Right. It was a Dairy Queen.
Yeah, a Dairy Queen. That's right.
Yeah.
And
but I also like the fact that was Kurt Russell.
It was Kurt Russell.
Totally Kurt Russell.
Yeah, and so that we're going to see him again at some point.
Right. Well, they keep teasing things. There's, from what I understand, the final episode of the season will probably be bringing a lot of the various characters from these alternates together for some kind of multiversal kind of thing.
Well, and one of the things I read was that they plan on bringing Captain Carter back every season.
Right. Yeah. The further adventures of Captain Carter, and because she's fucking awesome.
She is. There's a lot of people that are saying they want a Captain Carter movie now.
Nah, that won't happen. But
no, it won't. But
still, it was pretty awesome, and I can't wait. The new episodes every week are just so cool. And this show has been, like I've said before, the What If comics, I loved What If comics so much, and to see these amazing animated episodes, just fantastic.
Yeah, so far I've been very happy with the first two.
Me too, very much so. So we should
we get a new one tomorrow night.
That's right, every Wednesday night.
Yep.
But we should wrap things up. It is getting late.
Yep.
Did you have anything else?
Nope, that was it.
All right. So I was that's pretty much it for me. Guys, be sure to check us out in all the places you can find quality podcasting. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on iTunes, the Google Play Store, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, the Odyssey app, and of course, you can download and stream all of our episodes at www.nerdswithout-alcohol-show.com. Every Tuesday night here at 8:00 on Drinking Nerds on Twitch. We do our lovely show. Guys, be sure to check us out. We could be great to have a couple more, 4 or 5, maybe 6, maybe 10 more subscribers, because we really want our followers. We really want to get to that next tier. So that would be really cool, because it'd be great.
Yeah.
And you can also, Chris puts up these episodes on YouTube a couple of days later. Usually,
I'm finally caught up.
Everybody's all caught up. Great. We will be playing D&D this Friday, correct? This Friday or next Friday? This Friday. And we'll be back in the house.
Yep. Planning to start the stream at about 7:30. So please be here by around 7 so we can get set up and make sure everything's set up. And everybody's got drinks and snacks and whatever. So we'll still be taking breaks like we do, but we'll be playing at the table.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a good time, and there'll be 4 of you to start and probably 5 by the end. So
yeah, that's right. So that'll be good. Alrighty. So
remember you can follow us on most of the social medias. We're on Facebook, Nerds Vlog. Ooh, excuse me. Nerds with Alcohol Show. We are on Twitter at Drinking Nerds, Instagram Drinking Nerds, and we are on the Untapped app. Just search for Drinking Nerds and send us a friend request, and we will get you added on there.
Absolutely. Well, I guess on that note.
I think on that note, until next time, Slancha. That was a good one.
Pretty good.
All right, have a good night, everybody.
Good night.